Pandemic, not epidemic. Pandemic. Pan meaning everybody. Everybody. Everybody has to work together. Such as New Zealand, they just shut everything down for 2 weeks totally. Quarantined anybody who needed help, either hospitalize or isolate. And they have no cases. Vietnam, they've had experience before with the SARS. And so wearing masks was no big deal. We don't want the pandemic down to manageable levels. We want to eliminate it. So if everybody in the world, except for one person, takes the steps to lock down for 2 weeks or use all the safety procedures, no shortcuts, no partying, no ridiculous new construction projects and stuff as we burn up the planet. It's a pandemic, not an epidemic. One person can start the spread all over again. Viruses mutate. The second wave of the 1918 pandemic. The second wave. Way worse than the first wave. The wave came through, went to Europe with the war, everybody hit it, spread all over the place, soldiers went here and there, spread it around the world. Then the second wave came to the United States, and people were turning black. Some dying within 12 hours, with blood pouring from their eyes and ears. It's a pandemic. It's not a little sickness that's kind of carried around. All of a sudden it'll mutate and just wipe out the planet. So, we all got to work together. Thank you, Greta, for your work. She's approached the European Union and other major leaders, asking them to finally start taking a step. A little bit obtrusive here. Intrusive. Oh, my little system didn't work here. I know I'll have to make a little bend in it. But then I can use it as a little peg there to hold these two signs together. Pandemic, not epidemic. Should be lots of small schools, each one independent, have their own gardens, have their own kitchens. Hire local people to be the cooks and other support services. Everybody have a cohort. Your worker cohort would be the other people that you work with. One person in the group of the cohort have a temperature sensor, have a logbook of contacts. Take a picture if all of a sudden some other people come rushing through to your group. Take a picture of something so that we can trace back later, if need be. Yes, we trace. We find out who's been in contact. But that's way down the line. Right now, it's a massive surge. This guy went with me on many of my adventures. So here's some of my pandemic masks. This when I'm gardening. This, the general out in the public looking respectable. Another lighter weight respectable looking mask. I use this around the garden and stuff also because blue and green are my favorite colors. This one I just need a smaller mask and feeling kind of lively. This when I'm in a mood. This when I'm ready to party. Check out the other side. It's polka dots. This like I'm some kind of official. And this one I wear when I'm mad. Mad about people not taking action on the climate. What do we got to do? Insulate our homes and drive electric cars? Stop land speculation, destruction of the environment, so somebody from Wall Street can sell something that doesn't belong to them, oil and gas or minerals, or railroad land, or whatever it is. The land and the revenue from the land is for the people. Every family, a town lot and a seed lot, a home and a business. There's plenty of land, 11 million empty houses, millions of empty storefronts, and people don't have a place for themselves. Start building extended family homes if you're going to build something new. Stop building apartment buildings where people are just renters sitting in a box. A home is your garden out the door, and the children can run in and out and go see grandma at the other end of the house. That's a home. There's enough land within the cities sitting vacant all over America, for sure, for everybody to have land for their own home, garden, business. Oh yeah, with the pandemic, a lot of people are isolated. Call your friends regular. At least once a week, check upon them, see if there's food supplies that can be delivered. Do curbside pickup from the grocery store, order stuff. A Home Depot, other places, you call up, you order the stuff. By the time you get there, they walk it out to you. You don't even have to go in the store. Don't go anywhere where people aren't wearing masks. Boycott stores that people don't wear masks, or officials, or whoever it is. For the next 3 years, the 1340 plague. It took 3 years to sweep from Southern Europe through Northern Europe. At the end, they were flagellants, whipping themselves, trying to do something. Some kind of screaming about the world dying. Well, it lasted another 30 years. It kept popping up, and so there was always this fear. And it wasn't easy for landlords to put the squeeze on, because all of a sudden a pandemic might come through and the landlord wouldn't have anybody to pay rent. That's the deciding factor. Landlords would have no rent coming in because the world is dying. Oh, this thing, I gotta rearrange this. There's not even anybody else here. I just wear it all the time just to keep in practice. The 1918 pandemic, it was 3 years. The 3 major waves. First wave, fairly contagious, swept through the military and stuff into the war in Europe. 3 sailors went to India, boom, half a year later. 100 million died, a third of the world got sick. Okay, the second mutation, boom, hours, dying within hours, blood gushing. Third wave, more like a regular flu again, still severe, still fairly contagious. Some places sealed off, where some towns out west would seal off the road to the town, and armed guards would keep anybody from coming in. And if somebody tried to come in, they'd shoot them because they knew they were bringing death to everybody, them and their families. So of course they're going to protect themselves, just like anybody who wears a mask. But make sure to choose the right mask for the right time of day. Your evening gown, your morning delight. We're destroying the world. South America is burning. Australia will be burning again. 1 billion animals just burnt up. Because we want to go round and round in circles at the racetrack. And we want to have all-you-can-eat buffet boner. Ooh, so much food at once. I could just stuff in a whole bunch of low-quality food. We can make changes and have a good life for everybody right now. Create a whole bunch of jobs, insulating homes, putting in solar and wind. Get land for the people so they don't have to live in a box. A home for everybody. That's the solution to the pandemic. Extended family homes. Turn a duplex into a family and the grandparents. all over the country, millions of opportunities. Wipe out all debt, free all the slaves, and take the year off. The sabbatical. Every 50th year of the Jubilee, redistribute all the land, resources, license, and pollution to the families by their numbers. A reset. When greed starts monopolizing everything, monopolizing city land, farmland, railroad, right-of-ways, not the tracks, not the equipment, but the right-of-ways, harbor space, broadcast license, oil, gas, minerals, timber, fisheries, grazing, the land. You pay as you go for using land. There's not some Wall Street banker who happens to own the broadcast licenses for the town and we have to pay him. Cost a liquor license or a land, but don't tax anything to do with labor. Your sales, income, buildings, tools, that's your honest labor. That's yours. But pay for the space that you take up and the resources you use and the pollution you make. No tax on labor, full cost on land. Then we can start solving the world's issues. Stay home as much as you can, wash your hands and face. Plant gardens, school and family gardens at the schools. Rotate the kids, come there at different times to work on it. Have a online instructional thing. Every school be independent, have their own food production, food storage, food cooking. Every kid that graduates knows how to grow food for themselves. Oh boy. $2,000 a month for everybody. Retroactive when the pandemic was announced. Stay home. Curbside pickup. It's not that hard. We don't have to lock down, we just have to do everything sensible, and everybody has to be included. Thank you, Greta, for your recent work. It's more than 100 weeks coming up. 100 weeks. That a young schoolgirl from Sweden has helped us focus and kept the issue alive. Dave Miles, Wisconsin president. Cohort. Go with your group. Don't mix with other groups. Everybody wear a mask in the car. Go to a protest. Drive to the protest and park. Go across the street and stand with your signs. Just stay together as a group. Don't be marching up and down and mixing with other groups. They're all march in the same direction slowly, but stay in groups. All wear a red t-shirt or blue t-shirt or something and stay in a group. Identify. Stick your arms out. Stay this far away. Social distancing, what's that mean? It means stick your arms out. Stay that far away from everybody. Anytime there's a group, everybody stick their arms out. See how easy that is? Wear a mask. Stick your arms out. Touch anything, go wash up. As soon as you get home, take your shoes off by the door. Stay in the front room. Wash up. Talk to your family in the other room. If the family stays home, the person that comes and goes from the home can stay in the front room. They can wash up when they get home, stay in the front room, and talk to them in the other room. We love you. That's why we're not coming to hug you right now. Oh, I gotta change masks here. I'm talking too much. I forgot that when you talk, it moves your mask around. Okay, you can put your mask around the back of your neck with like a rubber band and a couple clips like that. Or a third way is half of it around your ears and half around the back of your neck. Rubber bands and a couple paper clips. And you got an adaptable mask. You can take it down when you're actually not around somebody and you want to breathe again normally. I can put it on and see what it's going to be like after we burn off the atmosphere and everybody starts dying. It's up to us. Ugh. Day Miles, Wisconsin president. Studio on that for issues. Over here I've got the pandemic issues. Grow hemp, can be made into everything. Clothing, medicines, building products. So I had these signs up as soon as the lockdown happened. I had them already printed. Then I started taping them onto these sheets of plywood for my little studio. I had these signs out front. Earlier in the pandemic part, I had my climate change signs in South America. Fires. 500 jaguars burnt up. That was like 2 years ago. It's getting worse. Over here in Australia, of course,